perfectly acceptable. And in the past, where people right at the beginning bought two stands, we always knew that the one was for speculation, and we granted permission to those people to sell. Simon walked into my office and he said, well, he just wants to tell me that we defrauded him and misrepresented to him this whole deal and the whole development. I said, Simon, what are you talking about? He said, well, you'll be getting a letter from our lawyer. So I said, well, you'll have to queue up if you want to send me a lawyer's letter, and I'm not going to allow you to jump the queue. I'm only joking now. But the next thing, I get a 5-page letter from his lawyers stating that we defrauded him and made material misrepresentations, and he was going to take us to court and tear us apart and sue damages. And then the letter ends off with saying, well, we haven't actually got documentation to substantiate what we've said above. Please send us the following documents. So I think, well, that's quite drastic to make these allegations and you haven't even seen the documents. And then he calls for a lot of documents. I said, well, if you think I'm going to send you these documents, you can come and inspect them at my office. Lisa came and I gave her documents.
Two of the three.
Yeah, 2 of the 3. The other one I wasn't quite sure what he wanted. And that's it. Then he came down and he said, I want to see these documents. I said, yeah, the files. You can't take them with you, and there's certain things which are confidential from our perspective, but these are the documents. And one of the issues that he had was that there were no conditions of establishment, and this wasn't a proper development established in terms of the Townships Act. Having said that, he's now painted him into a corner, and you will recall at the AGM, he had all sorts of issues about it being illegal that we remain owners of the common property until the development is done, and he was going to investigate, and he made allegations about some other obscure act which he thought he knew about. So now he's painted us into a position where he says, you've defrauded me, and that's it. So if I now, and we all know that he wants to sell his property, so if I give him that permission now, then it looks as though I'm trying to hide something. Because what am I to do? I can't now give in. If he had approached me like other people had approached me, there was a case where it was really a financial problem, no problem, sell. And what people don't, no, I don't say people don't realize it, the fact is that if we have a potential investor and I sell him Simon's stand for whatever he paid, 1.4, it's 1.4 effectively out of my pocket, because instead of us selling the stand and collecting the 1.4, the 1.4 is going into Simon's property. So we're effectively losing 1.4 million or whatever the purchase price of the stand is. So yes, we have given permission. Simon has just blown his opportunity of doing this, and because there are other people who we've said no to, and they're going to go exactly the same route and say, yes, you've got something to hide. If we now give
I
Simon
can vouch for that. My sister bought a stand here, paid for it, and fell into some financial issues. We approached the board very, very nicely, and they said, with the greatest of pleasure, there's your money back. Thank you, your money back.
And thank you, because we managed to buy it. Thank you, Kevin, for telling us, Larry.